All right, we're at episode 5. Congratulations.
Oh,
Never thought we would do one, but we got 5 under our belts.
there you go.
We're here with Anthony Brown and
Black Queen.
Bradford Queen from A Scarred Existence. One of the heaviest band, probably the heaviest band in Coshocton. I don't know of any other.
I'll stop
Oh, I know. No, seriously, I don't know of any other heavy. Is there any other metal bands around?
Yeah,
There's Obsidian Knives.
That's the one I couldn't think
there's
of.
a couple. Back in the day, there used to be quite a few,
Right.
and then they kind
Started fading out.
of faded out a little bit, But I do know that at least Obsidian Eyes are still active.
That's a name that I recognize. I remember hearing that name. So we'll just start out. We don't really have any format here. So, Anthony, if you want to talk about your influences, how you got into and correct me, do I say death metal? Is it,
Yeah.
or is it just metal? Or
Metal in general for me.
Okay.
But it started out like all the rest of the young kids in America. Man, Kiss
right,
was a huge influence, and I kind of listened to a little R&B there for a little while, Later on into the 80s,
Mhm.
of course, the hair metal became big, Wasp and
Right.
Crew, Cinderella, Poison, things like that. You know what I mean? Then I got my first taste of Metallica,
right. I think that was kind of everybody's first taste of like metal music.
right? And that opened a lot of doors, you know what I mean, for me as far as,
Right.
as musically. Um, Seemed like once I heard Metallica, it was like a draw to the more heavier genres of
Right.
music. Some of my favorite bands, Obituary,
Right.
Suffocation, Side, things of that nature. So there's a lot of influences, not just in metal, but in music in
Right,
general.
right. Well, and there's a lot that goes into metal, I think, too, that has little nuances of other styles in it because there's slow melodic parts, there's heavy percussive parts. Like it has signatures and movements like other music does. It's just with a lot more aggression and which I dig that. Like you were talking about Metallica. I remember like I grew up and I had 6 aunts and they all listened to music, and that was my first taste of music. The first time I heard Metallica, I didn't know there was stuff that heavy out there. You know what I mean? So then, like you said, I was like, well, what? Well, if it's that heavy, there's got to be something beyond that. And Pantera and all these bands, I started kind of finding. But yeah,
They're coming out. So, there's a lot of different influences. Of course, with like a lot of other people, you got your Black Sabbath and your Aussies, and like I said, Motley Crue was a huge influence on me
right,
growing up. Me and my brother used to listen to it quite a bit, back in the day,
all right,
and it just kind of progressed from there.
all right. How about you, Brad?
Well, I was only born in '04, so
Right.
I started. I
You're a
started.
pup, right?
Oh yeah. Like my first metal band that I can think of was Slipknot growing up because I had a big thing for Mask and all that growing up.
Right,
But my parents used to play Slipknot for me all the time, and then it grew from like Slipknot to like I started listening to like Kill Switch Engage, and like yeah, I'll go back and listen to a lot of Metallica stuff because my dad and all that.
right.
But yeah, like Kill Switch Engage, Asking Alexandria, like metalcore is like my intro
Okay.
to everything. But I'll still go back and listen to a lot of old Kiss, like a lot of old Suffocation and stuff
Right.
like that. But mostly like newer metal is where I started getting my influences from.
Makes sense. You're a young guy. Yeah,
yeah.
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 So when you don't listen to that kind of what would be a band or a song or a style of music that you listen to that people would be surprised? Like if they seen you at King of Clubs and they thought, wow, this guy, he's heavy as hell, and then they saw you in your car, what would surprise them?
I don't know. I got a lot of like guilty pleasure music I like listening to. Like before this, you got to start talking like Madonna and stuff. Like I can get into some of the Madonna songs
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. My music taste is all over the place.
Yeah, I find that with a lot of guys though. Like it doesn't matter what genre you get pigeonholed into. It's like, I've talked to the guys from the Filthy Heathens, and you got a guy that was bluegrass. You got a guy that's like a huge Mastodon and Clutch fan, and another guy that likes Hank. But when they all come together, it's like it's the Filthy Heathens. It
Right.
just kind of works.
Happen.
So upcoming shows you guys want to plug?
The 28th of August, Donato's Basement, Columbus. And then after that, we got the one August 30th here in Coshocton at the Art Park.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's a benefit for
The back to
to school jam that they're doing, raising
Oh,
supplies,
yeah.
school supplies for
Very
underprivileged kids and things of that nature. You know,
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know you guys did that. That's cool.
anytime we can get involved with the community, we try to,
Right.
especially with benefits and things of that nature. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
take care of those who take care of you.
Right.
So that's any opportunity we get, we like to donate our time for that.
That's very cool. So, I've known you my whole life. So, and I know what bands you played in, but what other bands have you played in?
Really, there's only just a couple, to be honest. I was got my first taste in a band in '93. I joined Grinder, which was a local rock band here in Coshocton in the early '80s. They kind of took a little hiatus, to the early '90s, I guess. And that was my first taste of being in a band. We kind of called it quits in '80 or '97, and I kind of went on with a couple of the other members. We had a band just called Scarred, and had another band called Brutal Symphony, by early 2000s or something. You know what I mean? We kind of reformed Grinder again, 2009, I think it was. After that, you know what I mean? Scarred Existence was born. For about the last 8 years, that's what we've been doing.
And I know, like, I knew the styles of Grinder before. And I don't know how to. I guess I don't know how to ask. Just add. Were you responsible for the vocal style change, or was it something that just collectively everybody wanted to move towards? Or just between me, I've always wondered that because it went from like almost like an Iron Maiden falsetto style singing to just super heavy, and I always kind of wondered if it was because they had the opportunity because you can do that, or if it was like a collective thing.
It really had nothing to do with me. I believe that just times they had modernized.
Right.
And as Isaiah and Randy progressed and music progressed into the late 80s and early 90s with their thrash metal and,
Right.
other genres of metal, they were listening to more of that
Okay.
than per se like your Iron Maidens and your Judas Priest, Ozzy, things
Right.
that they were playing in the 80s. And they just naturally had progressed to a little heavier music, I think. And then with the additions of Tony Prouty and Darcy Frew,
Right.
that those guys kind of really bought that edge.
Right.
That they wanted to try something else because there was a totally different singer before me
Yeah.
in that lineup. And I forget what his name was, Jerome something. But he was even doing the heavier style of vocal.
'Cause I wondered how you make that transition, and it's gonna sound cheeky, but I don't mean to. It's like one day you show up and you sing one way, and then the next time you get together and you sing that way. It's like, where did that come from, kind of a thing. Yeah, I always kind of wondered how it happened.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't have a nickel in that dime.
Huh.
They were kind of in their direction.
Right.
Before I joined in with them, so they were already headed there.
So did they just say, well, it's this style vocals? Can you do it? Or did they already know you could kind of do that?
When it was just those two playing, because there for many years, it was just Isaiah and Randy playing, and I would jump in with them and kind of
right.
we did a little bit of fun stuff, you know what I mean? Sing some MOD, some Sacred Reich, things of that nature, some early thrash bands, SOD, and I guess they felt that I had the knack for it, I guess.
Very cool.
And then, like I said, there was somebody else that they had tried out beforehand, and he didn't work out.
Right.
And that position was open, and I was like, I'll give it a shot.
Right, I can do that.
Yeah. And here we are.
Is this your first band, Brad? Or?
I used to play in a little cover band back when I was like 13, 14, and I was playing with like all these word people like Threesome Stock, Harry Keenan, all of them. Joined this band when I was 15, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, I started. Well, When I joined this band, my dad was still the bass player.
Okay, yeah.
So shout out Scott Queen.
Scott,
Yeah.
what up? If you're watching or listening.
Right.
Cool,
I've been with
man.
us for 6 years now. It's kind
That's crazy to think that though.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about my first show the other day, and I was looking back on pictures, like look at the old little baby face of Brad up there, and then now you see like full grown man now.
That's cool, man. Well, you and your dad jammed together, though, right?
We still do like a couple like acoustic solo stuff. It's mostly
Right.
around we're at the campfire or something, bust acoustics out.
But you did jam together in the band, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. That's super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool being able to share the stage with my dad.
Yeah, your dad, not my dad. That would have been cool. Yeah, with your dad. If you have a cool dad, it would be cool.
He's all right, I guess.
Yeah. We won't build him up too much.
Right.
that was kind of how Brad come in initially. The rest of us kind of watched him grow a little bit there.
I
for
used
a
to
couple,
show
2 or
the
3 years.
when they had people coming in for auditions. He used to come over to my dad's house, and he'd have me show them the guitar parts. Like, man, I'm not even in the band. So after a while,
That's awesome.
the one day they're over to the house, and they're talking about like, well, he already knows all the songs and everything, so like, why not?
Right.
So
Yeah, there's got to be a
joined.
point where somebody's like, wait a minute.
but
Why
I
is
thought
he
about it the
showing
whole
everybody
time.
the stuff of here? Why won't just get him?
Absolutely.
So did you, when being a young kid, man, did you ever have any issues like getting into clubs or
No,
like
well,
my mom wrote me a note and she's here.
Right. No, we usually talk to the club like in advance. Like most they do is like write an X, like make sure no one gives them alcohol.
Right. Which that always works because you can't
Oh, yeah.
drink. Physically not drink if they put marker on
Oh,
your
yeah.
hands.
But yeah, never had problems.
That and his parents were with us.
Right. That's why I say you could say I can get a note from my mom. She's right here.
Right there she is.
Yeah.
Do vouch for me.
Right.
Like you said, we watched him for a couple, 2 or 3 years. The kid was great.
Right.
And we were like, wow,
It just makes sense.
why are we looking?
Right. We got one. We just didn't know we had one. Yeah.
Absolutely. But
That's awesome.
I'm proud to have him, man. He's a total asset to the band. He always has been since day one.
That's very
And
cool.
I'm
I
proud
try to do my
to
part.
proud to call him a mate.
Right on, man. That's got to make you feel good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Being able to be a part of something like this.
And I was gonna say something mean about you so you don't feel too cool.
Right.
Well, he's not the youngest one in the band anymore. So that's
Oh yeah.
Really?
Our bass player. He's just a couple months younger than me, but I still got one over on him.
Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I keep playing with the same guys that are my age. I love them. I'm not gonna say that. I wouldn't trade them for anything. But the newer generation, though, it's cool to. In this day and age, there's not a lot of kids that are into certain music. Like we were talking about earlier, like the whole country rap thing that's huge now, and guys like Gavin Adcock and all the Morgan Wallen, all these guys, man. It's like there used to be where it was just it didn't seem like there was a very clear divide between everything. So to see younger people like that are into death metal or heavy metal or something that wouldn't be the norm, I think that's super cool. Like if I'm sitting in traffic, man, and I hear a kid playing Alice in Chains, I almost want to like give him $10 and get some gas, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool, man.
Oh, it was
Very-
growing up. My dad was always listening to like if it wasn't like heavy metal, it was always like Metallica,
Right.
Alice in Chains, Kiss, or any stuff like that. So I've always been around the music my whole life.
That's cool.
I've never been a fan of like rap music. Here lately, with the past couple of years, I started coming around to country music. So I listen to a lot of country music now.
Rap music to me, like I only like the novelty rap. Like I like Cypress Hill. I love listening to them because it was just hilarious. And like I was talking about earlier, Eminem is amazing, but he talks faster than I can hear. So by the time I understand the song, there's another song playing. But yeah, what are your favorite places to play? Do you have a favorite club that you
Obviously, the king
frequent?
of clubs now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely got
I've
to
never
be-
played there, but just to go there, it's really cool. The people are amazing.
It's got to be on
They make
top
you feel
of
like
the list.
family. Even
Right.
the people like they're helping you carry your stuff in and stuff.
I've heard that from a lot of people that play there. They're like, "Oh, the crew's cool. The guys that run the bar are cool."
Oh yeah, it's all true.
Their little catchphrase. Everybody's treated like royalty.
Right.
It's really true. They
Shout out to the King of Clubs.
absolutely.
Right, they treat you like they would these big acts coming in, like just our small town acts coming in.
That's super cool.
They're great people up there. I give Ricky a lot of credit for what he does.
Cool.
It's a great venue. We got to throw the Alrosa in there.
Right.
I never got to play the Alrosa, so that's the one thing I'm always jealous.
I was never on the stage. Well, I was never on the stage in a band. but I was on the stage carrying stuff.
That's how I was
Yeah.
carrying off the drums when I was
Right.
going up there.
They were cool too. The Rockin' Reverend, man,
Yeah,
Rick. He was always
absolutely.
cool.
Rick Catella, shout
Yeah.
out to Rick.
Rick.
You know, Tiago Sevilla. I mean, I grew up watching bands there, and then, like, fortunately, I was able to play on that stage numerous times. You know, so
That's super cool.
it opened up for bands like Mushroom Head, Ginger.
Right,
Uh,
right.
You know, some well-known acts. But yeah, great
Awesome.
times.
The Fayette County Barnyard Bash they throw on. That's always a cool one to play too. Down at
Is that the
Washington
one where it's like
Courthouse.
free beer or something? Or-
$20.
$20 on-
$20 and all the beer you can drink.
Wow, I know some people that would cripple them
Oh, yeah.
people, man. They'd be like, "No, here's 40. I feel bad." You know, that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, that's coming up here soon too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're
So do you guys? I mean, do you play a lot of festivals or just?
We're looking to
Every
do
once
more
in a while we
festivals.
will.
I'm
I think the
trying
last
to
one
get
we did was
into
Rock Out.
get into more festivals this year, 2026.
Right.
Hoping to get into some more of the festivals because there's a lot of them, man. Like we were discussing earlier, they're a day late and a dollar short.
Right,
Sometimes
right.
you just don't know that they're even taking submissions for some of these festivals. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
something that we gotta.
And that's the
figure
thing
out.
that we touched on earlier before the podcast is like how marketing a band has changed so much. Like, you know, with how we were talking about, like, well, you used to just send a copy of your CD to the bar, and if they liked you, they would call you and or a set list, and you know, and this is what covers we can do, so we don't bore you to death, kind of, you know. But it's not like that, man. It's
No.
like everything is so
Everything's
digital right
electronic,
now,
man.
and you know, yeah.
Everybody wants EPKs and
I'd have to Google what it is, and then Google how do I do one. Yeah.
yeah, but like you said, it's a lot different than
So I let make him
My
do all the
God.
work when it comes to that.
Right.
I'll
Well, you're the young
yeah.
guy, man. You should
Absolutely.
just be like that guy, man.
Right.
don't leave it up to the old man. He don't know shit.
Yeah, because
Right.
we don't have any sponsors, man, so no one can get mad.
Right.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Which brings me to my next point. If you would like to be a sponsor of the podcast, you can contact, what's the email?
Studio 117.
Studio117marketing@gmail.com if you're interested in sponsorship. Which, just a little pause. Thank you to our sponsors, the Crazy Cake Lady, as always, at 119 South 6th Street. Locals Barbershop on the hill and downtown. Want to let everybody know about the free haircuts for going back to school this Saturday. I believe it's 11 to 4. If you have school-age children that need to be freshened up before they go back to school, Jay and Aaron and his crew are amazing people. There's going to be a dunk tank with the mayor in it. There's going to be multiple things to do. Free donuts for the kids. So yeah, that's my commercial. So back to you guys. So you're talking about festivals. I think, and I don't know this to be fact because I'm not a musicologist, but it seems like, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, being a niche band, being like metal, do you find it hard to find places to play? Because I know, like, even with us being a cover band, it's like you're kind of starved for places to play sometimes, just because there's not a lot of venues. It may not be because they don't want that style of music. It's just the shortage of venues anymore. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Usually the way that it works is they contact us, other bands,
Right.
who have book shows that need supporting acts or things of that nature. You know what I mean? They'll send us an email or they'll send us a message on Facebook or something. You know what I mean? And ask us if we're available for, said date. And if we are, a lot of times we'll take that opportunity.
Right.
Because sometimes it does get a little few and far between, venues that actually accept, metal as
Right.
as a mainstay. Because especially in our town, there really isn't any place to
Right.
to host an event.
And there and it really isn't just metal though.
No.
I mean, it's like we were talking about that there's been a huge shift in the music scene, and it's very like they only go watch this, where maybe 20, 30 years ago it was like you just went out to watch a band, and it could be country and it could be rock. It wasn't rap back then or whatever, but it could have been, and you just kind of went to do it. Now it's like, no, we go to this one and it's only country music. I can't line dance, and
Well, a lot of the opportunities that we do take, it is metal bands, but they're different genres.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean? Nobody's like the same.
what's the guy that you guys jammed with at the Army Navy? Oh, and I think he's out on his own now. Was it? I can't.
Oh, you're speaking of Young Mosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're still it's the same band that
What was the
played
name
at
of that
Army
band?
Navy.
The world I knew.
The World I Knew.
I was thinking Twick.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
The World I Knew.
Yeah. See, I'm not a metalhead, and me and Wendy were sitting over there, and we're just like, you can't help but like this cat, man. It was cool, very cool.
The energy level was through the roof that night.
Right.
They're
You know,
still
shout
killing
out
it
to
like that.
So does he play like separate shows than the band, or
No,
is it?
they all
Oh,
are.
okay.
They
Just under
all
the name
yeah.
Young Mosh.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are Young Mosh. All of them.
Okay. So
It's kind of
you guys just network with them, and they. That's awesome, man.
and like I said, them guys have been great. You know, to come up here to Coshocton, and they're from Cincinnati, so
Right.
you know, they've been here
Try to treat them right whenever they come up.
4 or
Right.
5 different times that they've come to Coshocton.
Well, I seen like Facebook posts, man, and they're like, and I know your wife. I love Michelle. Shout out to Michelle. But you know, she's like, she takes them in like family. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, you need to eat something. You know, that's awesome, man.
Like the mama bear that she is.
Right.
Nancy.
Perfect analogy.
You know, like you said, over at the Army Navy, you know, shout out to Tommy Younger for giving us the opportunity to
Right.
to host events over there. You know, and it took off. He would let us book events probably almost at will. You know what I mean? And because
Well, you can't, when you see that crowd, and you can't, how could you turn that away? And you know, everybody likes an adult beverage now and then, and when you can sell multiple adult beverages, why not? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, you know, we always used to joke around like, hey man, if you don't like the music, you know, it's $3 to get in, it's 50 cents for earplugs.
right, absolutely. You know, I mean, take advantage when opportunity
Right.
knocks. You know,
Right.
and fortunately we were able to do that here in Coshocton. So.
Awesome. So you guys have gotten you've changed the lineup a few times,
A couple times.
couple
yeah.
times. You got a different drummer now?
Like a
Yes.
different drummer,
Okay.
different bass player now.
If you guys want to shout them out, you can, man. I'm sorry.
It's all
I didn't
good.
prepare. I didn't have my notes.
The bass player Connor Craigslow. So
Shout out to Connor.
Eric Bennett, our drummer, and then also of course Ethan Kusma, our other guitar player.
Are they local guys or?
But they're from Eric and Ethan are from Zanesville, and Connor's from Reynoldsburg. So
Oh, okay.
they all
Not too
got a
far.
little bit of a drive
Right.
when they come in.
Still practice at your house?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still rock Mulberry Street.
Mulberry. Look out, Mulberry Street. That's awesome.
Yeah. And like I said, it's I'm very fortunate to be able to have found the guys, you know, to continue this project. You know what I mean? Because it's had a few different faces.
Right. And, you know, like for people that might be watching and listening, there are guys like when I went to Nashville just on vacation, not to, you know, wasn't on tour.
Right.
There were guys that would just show up and like, hi, I'm Bill and I'm playing guitar, and they're like, oh, and they would hand them the music, and then they go and they play a set with these cats, and then they pack up, go somewhere else. But I'm the kind of guy, like the guys I jam with, they're my family. They're like
Right.
my brothers, you know, and
You gotta have that connection. With
right, and it's really hard to get. It's not hard to get that connection. It's hard to keep it,
Yes.
especially if you're together for any period of time, because you know you in life you got kind of leaders and followers, and you got to have the right balance and know when to be one and when to be the other kind of thing.
You know, and especially the way, you know, that ASE is now, with me being the elder, I guess.
Senior member, right?
You know, the rest of them are half of my age.
Right.
You know,
So they have to listen to you, really. By
Right.
law.
The way that we do things is, you know, everybody has a say.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And
all comes to a vote.
it all comes to a vote, and it only takes 3.
Right.
Majority
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we do it a fair way, and we've done that from day one, and it's worked.
Well, and I know, like, I guess I keep mirroring my own experience, but like, if Ricky comes up with a song and he's like, "What about this song?" and I don't like it, man, I was like, "Nah," and nobody's butthurt, nobody gets offended, nobody's like, "Oh, you didn't pick my song," which you guys don't have to worry about with originals and stuff, but even with ideas and stuff, it's like you got to be able to take.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean. And we can. If I totally screw something up, Shelly will be like, "Dude, that's not how it goes."
Yeah.
Or if We do that, but we don't tell each other. I don't tell him how to play bass. I'm sure Anthony doesn't tell you how to play guitar. You know what I mean?
Can't tell him what I don't know.
Right, right. But with respect to each other,
Right.
you can be like, I don't think that's
Something didn't
right.
sound right there. You know?
Right. Are you sure it's right?
You know, and we bounce ideas off of each other. You know what I
Right.
mean, and maybe Brad comes up with a riff or something like, just tweak it just a little bit. You know, let's change just a little bit.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times that adjustment is made, and they agree that
Right, right.
that does sound a little better that way.
Well,
you know what I
If you
mean?
come up with a riff at home on the edge of your bed, and then you take it in front of the bass player and the drummer and the singer, sometimes you gotta, like you said, tweak it and adjust it so you can fit things in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I know, like, Shuddy probably thinks of things in terms of bass lines, and I think of things in terms of vocals, and and you do too, and you think of guitar, so it's like it just kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? That,
These guys, they bring their own riffs and ideas and things of that nature to practice.
right,
You know, they show everybody else, and everybody kind of puts their little twist on it.
Right.
You know, and eventually it works out. And like I said, the more we play it, the more we feel that this might need to change or that might need
Right.
to change. And like you said, there's no attitudes about it.
Right.
It's all about making it better. And,
Right.
That's
And
the
I-
main thing.
And I've never ran into that. I've never really ran into that. Like, no, it has to be that. It has to do that. Because you surround yourself with like-minded people and the people that I jam with, and it sounds like you guys are the same way. It's like there's no room for that.
Right. There's no room for that in any band, in my opinion.
Right, right. Maybe gospel. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe polka. I heard that shit's rough, man. Don't mess around the accordion chick, man. She'll strangle your ass.
Mosh pitting at the polka shit.
Right.
Just never know.
Polish people get crazy over that.
Oh, yeah.
Take that shit real serious.
They do.
Well, before I forget, man, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate you.
We anything you guys want to cover, man? Anything you want to that I didn't bring up?
I think we're good.
Mostly just the shows we got coming up.
Yeah.
Like I said, August 28th, Donato's Basement, Columbus. August 30th would be the one in our park here in Coshocton.
Okay.
And then I think the next one would be in October 4th in Galion.
Yes.
And then October 7th in Columbus. That's the the crypto show.
Okay.
Also November 1st.
Keep forgetting about that
The
one.
Hub.
Okay, and they can find us all on your Facebook page.
Our Facebook page.
We updated as
And you guys have a page for merch and stuff?
Yeah, you can find our merch on Redbubble.
Okay.
Redbubble.com.
we have
Just
to go through there and share the link again through our stuff, or even just put the link in our bio or something.
just search ASE band.
And I gotta ask the name where to come from.
I wasn't in that part.
You wasn't in that part?
I'll let him take care of that one.
I mean, it fits the style perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When we change names, we wanted something that we could abbreviate. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
And as we were thinking about it, some prior members, previous members, had some illnesses and things of that nature they were dealing with, and they felt scarred.
Right, right.
I mean, and that just kind of, it was something that come up that somebody had wrote on a piece of paper of scarred existence.
Huh.
And
It makes sense.
cliche, we folded it up and threw it in a hat
Right.
and picked one out of there. And it just so happened to be a scarred existence.
That's cool.
And we were able to abbreviate that with ASE. And of course, there's a lot of people that know us by ASE.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even on flyers and things of that nature, you may not see a scarred existence.
Right.
It just may simply be ASE. And
That's
Kind of
cool.
like that.
Right. Band names fascinate me. Of course, I was in a band called Kentucky Fried Children. So we abbreviated it because we played at a place and the guy was like, I ain't putting that shit on. There's too many letters. I'm not writing that on the marquee. So we come into the bar and it just said KPC and it just kind of stuck.
Yes.
But I have one more question. I've been asking everybody this. It's kind of my thing. And I'll ask you individually. Anthony, since you're the senior member,
Yeah.
if you could pick a superhero or superpower and your choices were flight or invisibility, and you could turn either off at any time, like you're not always invisible, which one would you pick and why? And would you use your powers for good or evil? No judgment.
I'd say probably flight. Because there's many a nights when we're done
You'd
playing,
just be home.
Right there.
I
Right.
want to go home,
Right.
and I want to go home now. But you got that 3 hour drive.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I probably would use it for good.
Oh, that's sweet. I wouldn't. Mine's evil all the way. Invisible, evil. We've talked about it before. I will sneak into your house and eat your leftovers. I will hide your clothes. I'll lose your keys for you. I'm evil. The guys in the Filthy Heathens had a good point. The one guy, Bronson, said that he would pick flight because technically you could harness both powers because you could fly so high that no one could
That
see
nobody
you.
can see you.
So, Brad, what one did you pick and why?
I have to go with you with the visibility, and honestly, like I think I'd do the same thing, kind of like bad. You know, I like
Not evil, mischief.
mischief. You know,
Yeah.
I like to mess with people. You
Me
know,
too,
like
yeah.
hide their shoes or whatever,
Yeah.
or maybe listen to a conversation or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd mostly like to just troll people if I had that. You know.
Like I said, no judgment, man. I would totally do that. I would totally spy on people.
Oh yeah.
I would be awful. There would be people with spray paint cans.
Just wait, like where are you
Yeah,
at?
paranoid. Like I know he's in here. I can hear him giggling. Thanks again, guys, for coming in, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get together and maybe we'll get together down at the art park. And plug that again because that's a really good cause.
August 30th.
Okay.
It's a back to school jam, a benefit for school supplies for unfortunate children or less fortunate children.
Right.
So that they have pens and pencils and notepads.
So can you bring
paper.
supplies
You can
down?
bring supplies there. You can donate money.
Okay.
I'm sure there will be donation jars aplenty.
Very cool.
A Scarred Existence plays at 10 p.m.
Nice. And is there anybody else on the bill?
There are a lot of other artists on the bill.
A lot of rap.
The ones that I can think of right
Okay.
away is Jason Rayner.
Does
And,
Lethal
Lethal
play that?
Injection.
Yeah.
They're a local
Right, and
local
everybody,
rap
shout out to
group.
them.
Oh, cool.
But they're the ones that are putting it on.
Nice.
Ryan, Emily, and Lori Orr
Yeah,
are the
cool.
organizers of that benefits. Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. There's a lot of good in this community, man. There really a lot of good people around
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can have your meth heads, but who cares? You know what I mean?
Every town has that. You know,
Right.
if you look hard enough.
Right, right,
The world's full of good and bad.
right.
you know,
And
so
you guys are a couple good ones, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
we appreciate you.
All right, I think we're done.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Nikki.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bill.
I don't script.